Welcome back to Movie Village, guys! Our story today is the 2018 Chinese sci-fi romantic movie called How Long Will I Love You? Sit back and we'll get right into it. We begin with a 31-year-old woman, Gu Xiaozhou, on a blind date. Xiaozhou gives him a full presentation of a house, saying that if he buys it, she will marry him. Xiaozhou has a history of bad blind dates, and we can see why. The man is obviously shocked and leaves. Elsewhere, a man named Lu Ming shows his boss his ideas for a building. However, he declines his project because the land is waterlogged. When he goes to ask for a loan, he is declined for not having any financial credit. Later, as he's taking a dump, Ming overhears his supervisor, Zhao Juni, doing fraud on their boss. Suddenly, Ming slips, and Juni hears him. Worried that Ming might rat on him, he asks if Ming needs investors for his project. Elsewhere, Xiaozhou walks home. It bears an uncanny resemblance to Ming's home. As they both go about their daily evening habits, strange things start to happen. Ming's food ends up in Xiaozhou's bath. Xiaozhou's bath things end up in his kitchen. Just like having a college roommate. At night, things start to converge, and in the morning, they wake up next to each other. Xiaozhou immediately beats him up and tells him to leave her house. Thankfully, he does not allow her to murder him. They inspect their room, which has merged. On one side, it is raining. On the other side, it is sunny. Even their doors open to different scenes. She sees the date 1999, and all the things that you 90s kids should remember. They open up from her side of the door. It's a technologically advanced, pollution-infested year of 2018. So they open the door at the same time. But the rooms start to merge even closer. They stop, and Xiaozhou slaps him to check if he's real. In the merging, Xiaozhou's photo of her father and some special flowers get destroyed. She gets sad, and Ming cannot console her. She stomps to the door, and when she tries to open the 1999 door, things start to shake. So Ming opens the door without any issue. They go to her house. There, she looks at her younger self playing with her father and planting special flowers. She smiles tearfully and enters, but the universe shakes and blows a powerful gale which stops her from reaching them. Ming takes her back. He asks why a rich girl like her came to live in a crappy apartment, but she glares at him until he shuts up. He asks her to take him to 2018 to see what he's become, but Xiaozhou is too sad to care. Instead, she uses his cell phone to call her father's phone number while Ming tries to look himself up on the internet. Things start to merge again, and they immediately stop. At night, Xiaozhou looks at her things fondly and talks about using them as a kid, while Ming is fascinated by the automatic dust cleaner. She shows him other wonders of modern-day technology, including smartphones. She uses it to order food, and a man comes to cook for them. Elsewhere, a scientist explains how he joined two timelines together, which are 19 years apart. One can move across them at the point where they have merged. He says that the passage is there for a short time. Also, tampering with the timelines, like meeting your past self, will cause the passage to disappear faster. His unrecognizable client plans to steal the technology from 2037 and become a rich man in 2018. Meanwhile, Xiaozhou and Ming have difficulty sleeping, so she tells him about her father. He used to work too hard, so one day she got angry and asked him to come early. He died in an accident on the way. Xiaozhou lives with the guilt of indirectly causing her father's death. He can't help but empathize with her. The next day, the two leave together in their mornings but go to their different times. At his office, Jinyu offers him an investment, but Ming does not like it and declines, so Jinyu tells him to quit. However, his designs belong to the company. Ming gets angry at his supervisor and threatens to expose his fraud. Jinyu claims that Ming has no evidence. He then gives him 2 weeks to think about the investment. Meanwhile, Xiaojiao is busy working when she suddenly sees her former college classmate, Xiaoya, so she immediately changes her clothes and pretends to be a rich customer. When Xiaoya thinks that she married a rich man, Xiaojiao does not correct her. She invites Xiaojiao to dinner and tells her to bring her husband. So Xiaojiao dresses up Ming and takes him to Xiaoya's house. Xiaoya introduces her husband, Xicheng. Next, Xiaojiao shows off her diamond ring that Ming apparently got her. Unfamiliar with rich people etiquette, Ming does awkward things at the dinner table. He removes his coat and accidentally reveals a rental tag there. Xiaoya and Cheng indirectly tease Xiaojiao and Ming. When Xiaojiao angrily slams her hand, her rock-hard, indestructible diamond falls to the stove and melts. Back at their shared apartment, Xiaojiao cries out of pure embarrassment while Ming tries to console her. He feeds her homemade recipes that taste like expensive food, and it immediately lifts her mood. They realize that they need a lot of money, so they go to 2018 to check the winning lottery numbers. Then they buy that exact number in 1999. They still have until morning to win the lottery, so they go around enjoying different things from both eras. In the morning, they flirt with each other, complimenting each other's good qualities. They almost kiss, but Xiaojiao suddenly stops. Instead, they go to check the lottery. They win, obviously. But suddenly, the universe turns around and the numbers in their ticket disappear. They realize that they cannot cheat the universe. On the way back, he tries to console her, but she replies with biting remarks. They get into an argument where he calls her ugly, and she calls him worthless and unattractive. Just then, they see a big news about Ming. He's apparently become a big tycoon in 2018. Xiaojiao suddenly finds Ming worthwhile and attractive. Ming enters the building pretending to be the tycoon's brother and leaves Xiaojiao at security. Ming looks over his future self, now renamed Lu Shiyi, giving a presentation to some rich investors. Suddenly, the building shakes and the ceiling starts to fall. A glass cuts Ming in the hand, and Shiyi also feels it. He starts to get visions of Ming's adventures with Xiaojiao. While everyone runs out, Xiaojiao comes in. She wipes a tear and takes Ming away. That night, we see Shiyi scolding his scientists for opening a gate 19 years into the past instead of 19 years into the future. The scientist apologizes and says that Ming deviated from the timeline, and that could affect Shiyi in 2018, like making him disappear. Ming must be sent back to his own timeline. Back at the combined apartment, Ming and Xiaojiao cheerfully talk about a possible future together. Xiaojiao props him up like a salad she's about to eat. The next day, Ming declines the investment offer from Jinyu, saying that he will get a better offer soon. Just then, their boss comes and reprimands Jinyu for doing personal business behind his back. Elsewhere, Xiaojiao is working in her store when Shiyi comes to her and invites her to dinner. On the way, Shiyi reveals that he gained the new memories and now remembers everything that happened to Ming. At dinner, Shiyi says that the portal will soon close and one of two things will happen to Ming. First, he could go according to his timeline and become like Shiyi. Second, he could have done some things he should not have done, thereby skewing the timeline and ultimately his death. He advises her to leave him and promises to take care of her instead. Xiaojiao is conflicted about what to do. As he drops her off, he tries to hold her hand, saying Ming and him are the same person anyway. But Xiaojiao does not like this Patrick Bateman version of Ming and recoils. So he instructs her to tell Ming to take Jinyu's investment or he'll go out of the timeline. Just then, Ming spots them from the window. He calls her out for going out with Shi Yi, but Xiaojiao calms him down, saying that it was him. When Ming declares his love for her, she hugs him and tearfully says that she is going to move out. She relays Shi Yi's message to him. The next day, Shi Yi buys back her father's house for her and gives her his credit card. Ming goes and accepts Jinyu's deal. They meet later in their combined apartment, where Xiaojiao reluctantly bids him farewell and leaves. She goes outside and weeps. Back at the apartment, Ming sees that the door is not firmly closed because of an umbrella. Meanwhile, at the company, Jinyu tries to steal some information from his boss's computer. The boss arrives just then, and they get into a scuffle. Jinyu accidentally knocks him out. Since he cannot afford to let him live, he pours alcohol into his mouth. In 2018, Shi Yi comes to Xiaozhou, who is very lonesome. He picks up a kind tone and tries to talk to her. However, she's still heartbroken about Ming. Suddenly, she sees a tag on his coat and realizes that it's actually Ming wearing a rental. As he continues talking kindly to her, Xiaojiao goes forward and kisses him. She tells him to do good in his life. Ming continues pretending to be Shi Yi, and suddenly his Nokia ringtone goes off. He makes up an excuse and leaves, while Xiaojiao cries her heart out. Outside, Ming cries while walking away. When he goes home, he removes the umbrella and completely shuts the door. He lifelessly walks through the cramped apartment, while Xiaojiao stares into the emptiness of her big house. Just then, Ming gets a call from Jinyu. When he goes there, Jinyu makes him drive a car and follow him. They come to the end of an unfinished road. There, Jinyu pulls out their boss from the trunk and puts him in his own car. Ming tries to stop him, but Jinyu makes him realize that he is also involved now. In 2018, Shi Yi is remembering back to the night that they led their boss to his death. That night led them to climb the ladders of hierarchy, lifting Ming to heights greater than he had imagined before. He became a cold and cutthroat businessman who was hated by his own employees. Back to Ming, he suddenly sees a keyring on the car, one that Xiaojiao had said belonged to her father. He recalls her story of his death and fights Jinyu. Shi Yi starts to have a headache in 2018. Back in 1999, Ming manages to pull his boss out of the car. Shi Yi rushes to Ming's apartment, but the universe makes him disappear. We then see Ming and his boss, who acknowledges Ming saving his life. When Ming promises to always take care of his boss's daughter, the boss yells at him. The audience and Ming are immediately reminded that Xiaojiao is only 12 years old in 1999. Yikes! Now it is 2018, and Xiaojiao leaves her father's house reminiscing about her past with her father. As she walks down the road, everything starts moving in reverse. The same happens in 1999 with Ming. They walk until they see each other through glass doors. They immediately enter but do not find each other there. They quickly run back to their apartment and find each other at a crossroads. Ming tells her to take care of herself and he will meet her soon. When they approach each other, Xiaojiao disappears. It is now 2018 and they meet in the snow, with a roadside musician playing a tune to their love song. And with that heartwarming moment, this time-traveling tale ends. Check out another video displayed on the screen. Subscribe, folks. It's that simple, but will allow us to make more videos for you. See you soon!